So welcome, yogis. And just depending on how you're feeling, lying down on your mat perhaps to start, or if you prefer seated, if that is a more comfortable posture for you, then you can always begin there. Wherever you want to take a few minutes just to sort of arrive into your yogic space. Taking a few breaths. And just noticing how you're feeling after your day. Whether you've discovered a new little kind of ache or pain, or whether you've discovered that normal little aches and pains have actually gone away. Whether you're welcoming lying back on your mat for a few moments. And just bringing your awareness to your breath. And perhaps this may be the first time today that you have become conscious of the act of breathing, following for a few moments a full inhale and a full exhale. Because if you're truly honest, and like myself, I probably haven't thought about my breath even once today, because it's just so automatic, so sort of taken for granted almost. But for a few moments and during our practice, we can become very aware and grateful of the breath. So just take a moment to root, send your energies down. And if you are lying back on the mat, just take the arms overhead and have a lovely full body stretch. If you're seated, maybe just roll the shoulders, tilt the head from side to side. These movements just allow us to become quite conscious of the body before we come into practice. Bringing knees into chest. If you're lying back, have a gentle rock. And if you're already seated, maybe just a nice flex of the spine. Move in a way that feels good for you. And we'll come to seated. Zazen, seated meditation. So this evening I'd like to focus on a mudra mantra. We've done this a few times before. Peace begins with me. It's a lovely practice which is very meditative. And the fact that we are using the fingers, mudra, it keeps us quite focused on the practice that we're doing, and it just helps the mind to stop wandering off into other places and thoughts. So it's very simple. We bring each finger to the thumb one at a time. And as we do so, we can say, peace begins with me. And we repeat this, peace begins with me. Just each finger touching the thumb, those 4 words, 4 fingers. And it's lovely and relaxing. If partway through the 5 minutes, we'll do this for 5, you want to stop and just rest your hands in your lap, then you can do. Carry on with the mantra in your mind, all I would say, and notice the difference between your focus when you're mantra and mudra, and maybe just with the mantra going on in your mind. You might find that even though you're sticking to the words that you're saying, do your thoughts come and go as well? So it's interesting practice. So we'll take 5 minutes. Just rest the backs of your hands on your thighs. Become comfortable. Let your eyelids close. And gently we'll start. So peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. And just carry on with this mentally in your mind and really take the words on board that you're saying. Allow that word peace to really filter through your body. Noticing your breath. Still repeating your mantra. Peace begins with me. Noticing any external thoughts as well. If you want to rest the hands in your lap, carry on with the mantra. Staying relaxed. Let's just say this a few more times. And then when you're ready, just blinking your eyes open. How did it feel? Did you become quite peaceful? I always like this mantra. It just makes me think of world peace. If everyone in the whole world was actually peaceful within themselves, there would be world peace. Just something to think about. How did your mind stay focused with the mantra and the mudra? How did it change maybe when you were just repeating the mantra? Does your mind get a bit more busy? It's always interesting to just notice these things. So our first pose, Dragonfly. Let's just take the legs wide. If you like, you can always pop a little blanket, like the edge of the blanket, just roll it under sort of the edge of your buttocks. And it just has that sort of feeling of tilting the pelvis a little bit forwards into this pose. But if you're happy in this upright position, then that's fine too. Just sort of feeling for the sit bones to connect to the mat. And then just gently, when you're ready, we'll just start to soften into it. We don't have to lean into this immediately. Often the body just melts and we feel that movement. Noticing how it feels through the hips and the lower back, and just honouring anything that you need to be gentle with. So relaxing the legs, the inner legs. Notice where you start out in this pose, because it's often one that you do find movement in. And then breathing to belly. So the whole end shape of the pose is not really important. It's how we feel when we're in the pose. It's noticing what goes through our mind and how we feel on the way as we progress into it. There's a lovely saying that yoga is not about touching your toes. It's about what you learn on the way down. Noticing the stretch in the left inner leg and the right inner leg, and is there any difference? Can you feel sensation through the back, more one side than the other? Relaxing ankles and around your kneecaps. And softening your shoulders, the head and neck, with awareness of the expansion in your chest as you breathe. How does your breath feel? Is it laboured? Or does it feel quite open? Let's just take a few more breaths here. Notice if there's just a slight bit of movement into the pose just before we come out. And noticing kind of your starting position and your ending position and how much stretch you came into. Not that it's in any way a competition, it's just an observation as to how you've softened. Let's come into Shavasana together. So lying down gently with that forward leaning pose, just allow yourself to relax into the mat now. You might feel a bit tender into the spine or the back, and just take some deep breaths. Let everything soften gradually. It doesn't all happen at once. Sometimes it doesn't feel entirely safe to let go of all the muscles in the back. It's gradual. So being aware now of also what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Any chi movement through the legs, certainly the inner thighs. Might feel a very slight temperature difference. And then we'll gently draw the knees in, right one, and then the left one, nice and slowly, just observing anything through the lower back here, rocking, rolling. Just massage your back. So the next pose we're going to come into is open wing. This does involve lying on your side a little bit. So if that's going to be tender for you, just add some blanket under your side. If you do try it and it really isn't suiting you, just come into a two-sided pose that you do enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to turn onto my front. But what we will be doing is extending. So I'll just show you from this seated position. We're going to come up, hold out the right arm, and then we're going to roll back towards the right arm. So we open up through the chest. So coming onto belly, right arm that extends out to the side. And then we just roll back towards it. Bend your left leg, bend your left knee, so that it's almost like coming into a recovery position and it supports the body rolling back. And you can do this to whatever degree your shoulder joint allows you to. You can take your left arm behind you if you wish. You can maybe even take your left leg behind you if that is a more comfortable position to be in. Just however it feels comfortable to roll back towards your right arm. Everyone will be different. And as I say, this is a little bit lying on your side and your hips, so just being very aware of the comfort of yourself here. Trying to relax through the rest of your body. Try and notice if you're holding tension in certain places. So relaxing your right hand and wrist of the extended arm. This is lovely for your lung, heart, small and large intestine. And notice how relaxed you are through your head and your neck. It's so easy to hold tension in the body as you hold a pose sometimes. And you can adjust yourself if you need to, if there's a little bit more scope for rolling back towards your arm, opening your wing. And then we'll just take a few more breaths. Gently adjust yourself so that you roll back towards your tummy, roll onto your front, and then releasing the right arm that you've had held out, come onto your back. And then just notice, very stimulating through the arms. You can probably feel a lot of sensation in the right side, not so much in the left. Do you feel sensation more on the inner arm or the outer arm? The yin channels of the heart, lung. And so just taking these few moments to watch the sensation fade away, how it gradually just loses its feel on your body. And then when you're ready, let's bring these in. Gently take a nice rock. And then we'll roll up, coming into the other side for open wing. We don't take the full 5 minutes here. It is quite an intense pose through the arm, just being very aware of any shoulder issues here. So we lie on the belly with the left arm extended out to the side. It doesn't have to be level with the shoulder. If you find that having it slightly lower, then that's fine. Again, if you need a little bit of padding under the side of your body, please do. And either your left leg bent beneath you and your right leg behind you, or you can come into that other position where you have your right leg in front. Just choose which way round it feels more comfortable for you to come into this posture. I find that I try it both ways and then land with something that feels just right. Strange position to come into, not something we do in the daytime. So you might find yourself fidgeting a little bit. Try and relax as much as you can. Relax the head and the neck. Nice deep breath. And just checking in with how it feels in the buttocks, the hip that you're lying on. And by all means, if this doesn't feel right, please come out of the pose early. Keep looking around your body for tension in maybe the shoulders or the arms, backs of your thighs. Relax the head and neck. How does this feel? Is it better than the other side, or a bit more familiar now that you've done it on the right? Anything where we're working with our arms, it's linked with our heart chakra. So let's just take a few more breaths. Just take one more little scan around the body for where you might be tense. And then we'll gently come out. So releasing whichever position you've come into, roll onto your front. And then coming up and coming into Shavasana. And just letting the palms face upwards. And where can you feel the tingliness? Perhaps it's in the upper part of your arms, around the bicep area. Notice again whether it's inner yin channels or outer yang channels through your arms. Relaxing wrists. And then bringing these in. Again, take your time here. There's no rush to move on to the next thing. Enjoy massaging your back. Bring your knees in higher. If you want to feel a little bit more through the mid-spine. As you rock, feel the outer edges of your back. Down by the tailbone and sacrum. And so now we're going to come into hammock, which is a pose where we need to use a strap. If you haven't got a strap, you could use a dressing gown cord as long as it's sort of long enough. Sometimes they're not always long enough. We create a loop. Pop it round the right foot. If your strap isn't long enough, perhaps choose another two-sided pose like banana. But if it is, then great. We're going to hook it around the head, but we're not bringing the strap anywhere near the neck. It is well above the neck. It's on the base of the skull bone, that occipital ridge area. Okay, your left leg can be either bent at the knee or lying flat to the mat. I prefer to lie flat. So making sure that that strap is in no way around the neck area. It is just the base of the head. The strap will cover the tips of your ears. And so here you can have a nice sort of gentle bend into your knee. And the beauty of this lovely hammock pose is that you can really let your head relax and be supported. If you let your head become heavy, you'll feel that you'll enhance that sensation through the back of the leg, the hamstring, the calf muscle. And if you gently push into your foot, then you can feel a very soft pull on the back of the neck, which is quite a nice sensation as well. Nothing drastic, just a very sort of just a push into the foot, and you can feel the two differences between head being heavy and a gentle push into the foot where you feel that around the neck. So just explore between those two, and you can rest somewhere in between that sensation and just sort of hang out here. Relax your abdominal muscles and just breathe deeply to belly. Every now and then you can explore the possibility of straightening the leg and how that feels. Relaxing your shoulders and your face. And as you now and then maybe just push into the foot, you feel that lovely pull in the back of the neck. It's very subtle. Notice if your breathing has become shallow or the belly is tight again. Notice if you like this pose or whether it's strange. It's very good for your heart, very good for the fluids in the leg. If you do suffer with a build-up of fluid around the calves or the ankles, then this is a really nourishing pose to let your lymph drain in the opposite direction. It's restful for your heart. And so I like, just at the end of this pose, I like to offer you to unhook your strap. And just for a little while, it's nice to hold on to it and just have a little bit of free movement. So take your leg out to the side. It's really nice to stretch out and feel the inner thigh stretching there. You can lower it round, swing it across the body if that feels nice. Notice if it starts to sort of twinge around the hip, you might want to bend your knee. Just move it, explore, just play for a few moments with all the different sensations you feel. It's nice to swing the leg out and obviously have the support of the strap. Feel the lovely stretch on the inner thigh. Noticing at what point you can straighten your leg. All the different sensations you feel just by rotating your leg. Some feel good, some might feel a little bit too stretchy. It's lovely just to be mindful in the moment and be completely absorbed by what you feel right now. And then just gently, we'll lower the right leg down. Maybe swap your feet over. Just pop your left foot in, release the right foot, but just have a few moments here. In Shavasana, just relax and just feel whatever you feel. Lovely sensation in the buttock and hamstring. Hamstring at the back of your right leg. How it feels through the upper back and your neck. And obviously where the strap's been around your foot, it might feel a little bit tingly where it's been on the ball of your foot. So let's come into the other side. If you want to draw your knees in for a moment, you can. I try to keep the strap around your left foot for a moment. Or if you're quite ready to, you can just come straight into the other side. Again, I'm just going to reiterate that the strap doesn't go round your neck. It goes at the base of your skull bone, the occipital ridge. Right leg can be bent or straight. And then just coming into this side, you might find you have to have a little bit more of a generous bend in your knee. Notice the difference as you come into your pose. Let your head relax. In this hammock, as the pose is called. And then every now and then you can push into the foot, feel the pull around the neck. Relax the foot, let the head become heavy, and feel the stretch through the back of your leg. Trying to relax buttocks, soften the abdomen, and just notice gentle breaths. Every now and then just explore the stretch to see if there's a little bit more movement in straightening your leg. How does this pose make you feel? Is it a feeling of support? Nice feeling of cradling the head. This is lovely for your throat chakra as well, with the chin very tucked into the throat and the chest. Your Vishuddhi center. So if you want to gently unhook the strap from behind the head, and then just holding on and having a few moments to explore, you can do. Otherwise, you're more than welcome just to stay where you are. It's your practice, whatever feels good. Gently moving the leg if you want to. Exploring what feels good, what feels strange. You might like to use the strap to just support making big circles. Just very aware of all the different strange sensations you feel as you move, straighten, bend your leg. So we'll gently now just lower your left leg down. You can release the strap from around your foot, and we'll just take a few moments here in Shavasana. Again, just feeling whatever you feel, the fresh sensations through the inner legs, which are liver, kidneys and spleen. The back of your leg will be your bladder channel. You might even find a little bit of sensation creeping up the belly and chest. It's really interesting where you feel spacious and a little bit more vibrant in your body. Lovely to be so present and feel it. Be totally in this moment. So as that sensation now fades away, we'll hug in. Take a nice long moment here to rock. If you want to bring the head up to the knees, stretch a bit more through the back. And so we've come into forward fold with Dragonfly earlier. It's nice to counterpose the spine throughout your practice. We're going to come into bench. So you just need a little pillow or cushion. And this will be the last pose before we come into relaxation. So it's a lying posture. If you've got a blanket handy and you want to just make a start in feeling a bit cozy, then you can pop it over your legs. With bench pose, we take the cushion just a few inches away from the back of the body so that we're not curving into lumbar spine. It's more of an opening in the thoracic part of the back. And then when you're ready, in your own time, just lying back. When you first come over your cushion, just make sure that as you tilt your head back, you feel supported. And if you need something extra, like a rolled up hand towel, or even something like a small flannel can just help to support the neck if you just need that extra bit. And so just enjoying lying back. Arms can be down by your side or a little bit more, a little bit higher, more level with your shoulders if you wish. You feel it a bit more open into the more clavicle, upper chest area. Deep breath. Nice long sigh. So again, this pose is opening through heart and throat, even though the position of the neck and chin are different from the last one, still throat activating. As you lie here, maybe have a few thoughts as to how truthful you speak to yourself, your inner dialogue. How nice you are to yourself. What's the flavour and nature of our thoughts most of the time throughout our day? Are they negative and a little bit doom and gloom and poor me? Or are they uplifting and positive and optimistic? So even in this restful pose, try and find any tension you're holding and relax. Soften your face, your eyes, your jaw. How does your breath feel here? How does your neck feel? Is there still some tension hidden somewhere? Is this a pose you could stay in for longer? Or are you, just ready to come out? How does your nervous system feel now? Does it feel relaxed and harmonious? Let's take a breath. When you're ready, just start to lift your head. Start to roll up through the body, but just enough to take the cushion out. Come back down and take Shavasana, just noticing the difference. It really does amaze me, the difference between just having a cushion beneath your back and then coming into Shavasana, how it feels. Where can you feel energy moving in your body now? Perhaps the upper back, tops of the shoulders, back of the neck. Are you completely relaxed, or is there a little bit of tension around the waist, shoulder blades? And then when you're ready, let's come into relaxation. If you want to come to seated, please do. If you're quite happy where you are lying down, just add some cushions and blankets. Get cozy, feel warm. So at this time of year, when the days are shorter, it gets dark early, I think there is a feeling of wanting to hibernate, to hunker down in something in a place that's comfortable, that has warm feelings, a coziness to it. So in your mind's eye, and you may be able to conjure this image very clearly. It might be your own home. It might be something you've seen in a magazine or on a film. I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting in perhaps a big armchair, a winged back armchair, comfy cushions, a nice footstool in front of you to raise your legs, and perhaps a very big, warm, woolen tartan blanket. You're sitting in front of an enormous fireplace. It's a roaring fire. Beside you is a little table with a hot cup of cocoa or warm tea, whatever it is that you enjoy the most. There's no other lights on. You're facing the fire in this comfortable chair. And you can feel the warmth and the light from the flames just lighting up your face. That flickering just dancing across your eyes. And as you sit there gazing at the flames and the fire, they can become quite mesmerizing, meditative, almost hypnotic. The little licks of yellow and reds and orange, the crackling of the logs, and perhaps even the smell of nature. The little sparks that fly off from the fire. Your eyelids might become heavy as you gaze, and your vision becomes slightly blurry. What images does this conjure up? Does it take you back to a childhood image of stockings and holly all round the fireplace on the mantelpiece? Feeling of comfort, of love, like a big cuddle. Feeling safe, nurtured, and looked after. Just have a few more moments of this lovely carefree vision in your mind. So with this image in your mind of being comfortable by this lovely big fire, slippers on, cozy and warm, you can elaborate and add features to this image. Perhaps it's in an old Scottish castle, or a cozy little cottage. However it makes you feel more than what you see. So take this warm and fuzzy feeling, and you can just start to gently take a deep breath and maybe move your fingers and toes. The mind is such a powerful tool for shifting the way you feel. Your thoughts often become things. So to be mindful of our thoughts is part of our yogic practice. To be the observer, the witness. Have a lovely stretch now, whether you stretch the arms overhead or bring the knees into chest. Having a few more moments to just enjoy your body, enjoy what you feel. Notice the good bits. And then when you're ready, just rolling up to seated. Join me, rooting down. Have a few moments just to come back into reality. And then we can bring our hands to heart center. That union at the heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.